Are you serious?
Hello, this is How to Kill an Hour. My name is Marcus Bronzy.
I'm Sean.
And this is a show where Sean and I scour the internet and find some funny stuff, find some weird stuff, find some funky stuff and crack on. Now, it's been a while, isn't it, Sean?
It's been a while.
Been a while, bro. But it's good to be back in the studio, man.
Likewise.
Yeah, man. You're looking well.
Thanks, man.
You look relaxed. You look calm.
I am.
You look like
you
have...
put me at ease, bro. This is.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome, bro. But man, I think we should just stop messing around and kick right on with the first part of the show,
mess around, man.
which is where we find some jokes and we've got a little bit of a twist. I've got a little small surprise for you as well coming up after this. All right,
okay,
cool?
okay.
And that is what we call a throw forward in the broadcasting game, designed to keep people around for that little bit longer, like the last drink at the pub. Anyway. For me anyway. Right, time for our jokes
Of the week.
Sean, a bear walks into a bar in Billings, Montana and sits down. He bangs on the bar with his paw and demands a beer. The bartender approaches and says, "We don't serve beer to bears in bars in Billings." The bear, becoming angry, demands that he is served a beer. The bartender tells him more forcefully, "We don't serve beer to belligerent bears in bars in Billings." The bear, very angrily now, says, "If you don't serve me a beer, I'm going to eat that lady sitting at the end of the bar." The bartender says, "Whoa, sorry, we don't serve beer to belligerent bully bears in bars in Billings." So the bear says, "Fuck it," goes to the end of the bar and as promised, eats the woman, comes back to his seat and says, "I want a beer." The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve beer to belligerent bully bears in bars in Billings who are on drugs." The bear says, "I'm not on drugs." The bartender says, "You are now. That was a barbiturate."
Not see that
It come out there, innit? It was a right hook out of nowhere, yeah? I'm so proud. I almost did a trip over that. Yeah. It was almost flawless. 9.7 for 8.
I think that was a 9.9.
All right, cool.
Jeez.
Cool.
I wasn't even like I stopped listening to the joke. I was just like, how is he not fucking it up?
You're done now.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Should we just call it there?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was How to Kill It.
A man goes to a hotel and asks the manager, "How much for a room?" The manager says, "It's $100 for a regular room and $15 if you make your own bed." Excitedly, the man says, "All right, I'll make my own bed then." "Sure, I'll go and get some nails in the wood."
Oh, that's a proper dad one.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Kick off with it,
All right. I heard that one of those adult film stars was making a world record attempt in my town. You know, the one where they bump uglies with as many people as possible in 1 hour? Outraged, I went to see if I could do something about it. When I got to the hall where it was going on, I saw a queue of about 150 people waiting their turn. My stomach turned at the disgusting carnal display. All of a sudden, I was filled with a righteous wrath, and I set upon those lust-filled demons with the strength of 20 men. One after another, the men in the queue were laid low by my mighty fists, as it was in the days of Samson. And nobody was laughing when I was done. I guess I punched up the fuck line.
Okay.
I feel like I've come with some hookity hooks today.
Good energy though.
And I finally got through it. Yeah.
All right. A man was hunting when a gust of wind blew. The gun fell over and discharged, shooting him in the genitals. Several hours later, lying in a hospital bed, he was approached by his doctor. "Well, sir, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that you're going to be okay. The damage was local to your groin and there's very little internal damage, and we were able to remove all of the buckshot." "What's the bad news?" asked the hunter. "The bad news is that there was some pretty extensive buckshot damage done to your willy, which left quite a few holes in it. I'm going to have to refer you to my sister." "Well, I guess that isn't too bad," the hunter replied. "Is your sister a plastic surgeon?" "Not exactly," answered the doctor. "She's a flute player in the Boston Symphony Orchestra. She's going to teach you where to put your fingers so you don't piss in your eye." I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't make any sense, but it's still tickled me.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. All right. No, that was a good one. A soldier who wasn't the sharpest tool in the box was on sentry duty at the main gate, and their orders were clear. No car was to enter unless it had a special sticker on the windshield. A big army car came up and the general was seated in the back. The sentry said, "Halt! Who goes there? The chauffeur, who was a corporal, said, General Wheeler, I'm sorry, I can't let you through, said the sentry. You have to have a sticker on the windshield. The general said, drive on. The sentry said, hold it. You really can't come through. I have orders to shoot if you try driving in without a sticker. The general repeated, I'm telling you, son, drive on. So the sentry took out their weapon, ready to discharge. They walked up to the rear window of the car and shouted through it, General, I'm new at this. Do I shoot you or the driver?
Could have been that as well. It could just also be me being slow. I'm like, cool.
They just don't know who to shoot.
Yeah.
This might be one that gets deleted. We'll keep it for now, given that. I'm sorry, Sean. I promise the next one's a good one.
Sometimes it's just me. Just a bit, it takes me a minute. A girl tells her mother after school, Mum, I got a gold star today for reciting the whole alphabet. The rest of my class only knows 3 or 4 letters. Well done, darling, the girl's mother replies. That's because you're blonde. After returning from school the next day, the girl tells her mother, I'm the smartest student in my maths class. I can count up to 15. Everyone else stopped at 5. Well done, replies the mother again. That's because you're blonde. The following day, the girl says to her mum, Mum, today we measured our chests in class and mine is the largest. Is that also because I'm blonde? No, darling. That's because you're 18. I'm going to have to substitute some of these with other coloured haired people.
Oh, no. Maybe, yeah, in the future, yeah. All right, cool. Let me have a go at one then. I've done the same thing, right? Stupid Sam was about 2 hours away from San Diego when they were flagged down by a man whose truck had broken down. The man walked up to the car and said, Are you going to San Diego? Sure, answered Sam. Do you need a lift? No, not for me. I'll be spending the next 3 hours fixing my truck. The problem is I've got 2 chimpanzees in the back and they need to be taken to San Diego Zoo. They're a bit stressed already and I don't want to keep them on the road all day. Could you possibly take them to the zoo for me? I'll give you $100 for your trouble. I'd be happy to, said Sam. So the 2 chimpanzees were ushered to the back seats of Sam's car and carefully strapped into their seatbelts, and off they went. 5 hours later, the truck driver was driving through the heart of San Diego when suddenly he was horrified. There was Sam walking down the street holding hands with the 2 chimps. With a screech of brakes, he pulled over to the side and ran over and said, What are you doing here? I gave you $100 to take these chimpanzees to the zoo. Yeah, I know you did, said Sam, but we had no money left, so now we're going to the park. I got it like right just at right, the end. Yeah.
Right. Husband and wife went to see a marriage counsellor. After he listened to a 20-minute tirade about how bad a husband he was, the counsellor stood up, went round to his wife and embraced her and gave her a hug. Then turned to the husband and said, This is what your wife needs 3 times a week. You think you can manage that? Husband replies, Well, I can drop her off Mondays and Wednesdays, but I play golf on Fridays. I actually feel that would be an accurate response to this.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Yeah. Right. 2 married buddies were out drinking one night. One turns to the other and says, You know, I don't know what else to do. Whenever I come home after I've been out drinking, I turn the headlights off before I get to the driveway. I shut the engine off and coast up to the garage. I take my shoes off before I go into the house. I sneak up the stairs. I get undressed in the bathroom and I ease into bed, and my wife still wakes up and yells at me for staying out so late. His buddy looks at him and says, You're doing it all wrong. You obviously are taking the wrong approach. I screech into the driveway, slam the door, storm up the steps, throw my shoes into the closet, jump into bed, rub my hands on my wife's ass and say, How about a bit of fun? And she's always sound asleep.
Hey, that was a good. I love it. All right. A woman was in bed with her lover when she heard her husband opening the front door. Hurry, she said, stand in the corner. She rubbed baby oil all over him and then dusted him with talcum powder. Don't move until I tell you, she said. Pretend that you're a statue. The husband walks in. What's this? He inquires. Oh, it's a statue, she replied. The Smiths bought one and I liked it so much that I got one for us too. No more was said. Not even when they went to bed. Around 2 a.m. the husband got up. went to the kitchen and returned with a sandwich and a beer. "Here," he said to the statue, "have this. I stood for 2 days at the Smiths and nobody offered me a fucking thing."
Heavy. All right. There's a lot of man and wife ones here. This is one of the ones that I wanted to save for a reason that we can't chat on the pod, but I'm going to go for it anyway.
Okay.
Husband walks into the bedroom carrying a glass of water and 2 aspirin. Wife, what's that for? Husband, for your headache. Wife, but I don't have a headache. Husband, well, I guess that means we can have sex then. Wife, you know what? I have this nauseating feeling in my stomach. I don't think it would be very comfortable. Sorry, honey. Husband, oh no, when did that start? Wife, about 10 seconds ago. Wife, do you have a headache, dear? Husband, no. And he looked a little bit confused. Wife, well then, I guess you can go fuck yourself. Oh, sorry. I like that. That was fantastic.
That's a tough one. That's a tough back and forth one.
Yeah. And also, I'm clearly lost about how to read it.
Okay. Okay. A teacher asked play off this one. Okay. Right. A teacher asked the kids in a 3rd grade class, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Little Johnny says, "I want to start out as a fighter pilot, then be a billionaire, go to the most expensive clubs, find me the finest whore, give her a Ferrari worth $1 million, an apartment in Copacabana, a mansion in Paris, a jet to travel throughout Europe, an infinite Visa card, and all while banging her like a loose screen door in a hurricane." The teacher, shocked and not knowing what to do with this horrible response from little Johnny, decides not to acknowledge what he said and simply tries to continue with the lesson. "And how about you, Sarah?" "I want to be Johnny's whore." I didn't say play yourself.
I can see it coming. All right. This is more of a chuckle than a laugh, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
An IT support manager leaves a conference only to find that the last train is gone. Being a devout Christian, he falls to his knees and prays and says, "God, if it lies within your will, please give me a way to get home tonight." To his astonishment, there's a swirl of ethereal music and an angel descends from the clouds. A moment later, a shiny black Audi appears where it wasn't before. "Hail thou who has found favour with the Lord," proclaims the angel. "Here is your way home." And the angel throws him the keys to the Audi. Wicked. An hour or so later, the manager is parking outside his house and once again he kneels and prays, "Lord, who has heard my prayer and has been gracious unto me, I now ask that you take back this gift. I only wanted to get home and you have done all that I could have asked, so let me not be tempted by desire for material gains." There's another swell of ethereal music and a still more glorious creature appears. The manager bows reverently and says, "Have I the honour of addressing Michael or are you Gabriel?" "Why do you ask?" says the radiant figure. "Because," says the IT manager, "if you are here to undo the function of an angel, you must be an archangel." Ba-dum. I told you it was a chuckle at most. It was a chuckle at most. How does a chuckle at most?
It took me again. I'm just slow sometimes, man.
But IT and undo, that was it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that was deserved. That was a stinker. For those just listening, Sean looked at me like, "Right, man, this is a toughie, innit? This is a tough day." Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna do what the teacher did. Just carry on.
Yeah.
A male patient just recovered successfully from a sex-threatening health attack. Mm-hmm. He was wearing an oxygen mask over his mouth and nose and laying on the hospital bed. A young nurse came to cleanse his body with a sponge. The patient mumbled, "Are my testicles black?" The nurse replied, "I don't know, sir. I'm just setting you clean." The patient repeated again, "Are my testicles black?" The nurse was quite embarrassed to answer the question and said, "Sir, everything should be okay." The patient just kept on asking again and again, "Are my testicles black?" Nurse could not bear a patient concerned so much, so she raised his gown, moved her hand to find and grab his penis and testicle, moved it around, checked very closely, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the man ejaculated on the nurse's hand. The man pulls off his oxygen mask, embarrassed at the fiasco, and says, "Ma'am, thank you, but I still need to know, are my test results back?" Did you see that coming?
That was good. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, you could have done that, innit? Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Half-assed.
A man was in the bedroom waiting for his wife in the shower as they both prepare for a night of intimacy. Whilst he was sitting naked on the side of the bed unwrapping his condom, his son, little Johnny, suddenly opens the door and enters the room. In an attempt to hide the condom and his exposed member, the dad bent over as if he was looking under the bed. Little Johnny asked curiously, "What are you doing, Dad?" The dad quickly replied, "I thought I saw a rat go under the bed." Little Johnny replied, What are you trying to do? Fuck him."
Oh, hey, that's a good one.
Little Johnny, innit?
Hey,
Little Johnny.
Johnny's a sick brain.
Little Johnny.
Sick guy.
Every time.
This is a bit of a long one, but I'm going for it.
All
Right. A father wants to see how well his two sons will do in life, so he gives each one of them a duck and says, "See what you can get for it." The older son holds onto the duck until it lays a clutch of eggs and then takes it to the market in a nearby town where he sells the duck and eggs for $10. He comes home and tells the story to his father, who then exclaims, "My brilliant son, what a businessman you are going to be." The father then turns to the younger son, who is a bit of a slacker, and says, "What about you?" So the younger son grabs his duck and starts to saunter into town. Along the way, he sees this really pretty girl hanging out the window who calls him, "Hey kid, give me the duck and I'll sleep with you." He doesn't have to think twice. He races up to her room and they get on with it. Now, this younger son is young, randy, and really good. Panting breathlessly, the girl says, "Do it again and I'll give you the duck back." So he does, and she does. And they're both left smiling, drained, and really happy. So smiling, happy, and not paying attention, he walks out of the door and down the street just as a car comes careering round the corner. The scared duck flies out of the boy's hand and right into the windshield of the out-of-control car. Once things have settled down, the driver goes up to the boy and says, "I'm really, really sorry about your duck. Here's $1 to pay you for your loss." $1? The boy cries. "What am I going to tell my father? My brother got $10 for his duck." "Not my problem. Here's $1, take it or leave it." So dejected, the younger son returns home and decides that the best thing to do is to tell the truth and speak to his father. The duck and the girl and the duck and the car and everything. His father just looks at him and says, "My brilliant son, what a success you are going to be in life. You got a fuck for a duck for a fuck, and a buck for a fucked up duck." More of a tongue twister. More of a tongue.
You came with the tongue twisters as well.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
All right. Got a couple of ones there a little bit shorter, so here we go. A parent is driving down the road with their young kid in the back seat. Suddenly, from a truck in front, a dildo flies out and hits the windshield. The kid says, "What was that?" Not knowing what to say, the parent responds, "Oh dear, it's just a bug." The kid thinks for a second and says, "That bug had a huge cock."
It's a good one. I like that one.
Tight one, isn't it?
Yeah. After 20 years... Okay, wait. Husband always insists on making love in the dark. But after 20 years of this, his wife turns on the light and finds him holding a vibrator. She goes ballistic. "You impotent bastard! How could you lie to me for all these years?" The husband looks at her straight in the eyes and calmly says, "I'll explain the toy. You explain the kids." Woo! Got some explaining to do.
All right, I got one more for you, Sean.
All right.
I was leaving the office for the day when I found the CEO standing in front of a shredder with a piece of paper in his hand. "Listen," he said, "this is a very sensitive and important document and my secretary has gone for the night. Can you make this thing work for me?" "Sure," I said. So I turned the machine on, inserted the paper and pressed the start button. "Excellent," he said as the paper disappeared into the machine. "I just need one copy." I'll give you the first line again. I was leaving the office the other day when I found the CEO standing in front of the shredder with a piece of paper in his hand. It's a takes a while, isn't it? There you go.
Again, see,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm just... Sometimes I'm just not on the ball, man.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Right. This is a very short one.
Okay.
You can tell how much a woman likes you by her feet. Do you know this?
No.
If they are behind her ears, she really, really likes you.
Oh man, that's fantastic, man. Sean, I've got to say it's been a good one. It's been we tripped over a couple of words though.
Tripped over everything.
Yeah. But that has been our jokes
of the week.
But Sean, I mean, I won't drag out too many of those, but we're getting a nice selection of people that are actually getting in contact with the show. So like we have said in the past, you can contact us on Facebook, you can DM us Instagram jokes, you can send us funny things, and we've had a few people that have sent us some audience jokes. So this is audience jokes
of the week.
Okay.
And as I'm such a rebel, immediately I'm going to digress slightly, because this one actually came from a producer that I worked with, and it was on a mug in his house that he got as a gift. It's a tight and short one. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle? Because his wife died.
Oh, I knew this one. Classic.
All right.
Classic.
Cool. Right. Because we've done so many jokes, I'll knock out a couple, but then we'll keep pushing. This is from Grace Dahi. She sent us this over, I think it was Insta. A urologist in London had a water leak in his bathroom on a Sunday. He called a plumber who charged him 50 quid call-out fee plus another 100 quid for fixing the problem in 15 minutes. The urologist was shocked and said to the plumber, "I'm a urologist. I fix human waterworks and I don't get paid this much." The plumber replied, "I know. That's why I quit urology and I took up plumbing. No risks, no litigation, more money, and the taps never bleed."
I was too busy looking at anesthesia.
Anesthesiologist.
No, it's anesthetist. Anesthetist.
Can you just let us know,
Anesthetist.
please? Yeah,
Anesthetist.
Yeah, all right.
Wait. Anesthetist.
That's it. Anesthetist. All right, I can't do any more after. All right, I'll do one more. Monk who claimed. Oh, this is from. I don't know. This is from Monk. Oh no, actually, sorry. This is from David James. Sorry, David James. Facebook. Send a DM. Monk who claims he saw the face of Jesus in his margarine tub said, "I can't believe it's not Buddha."
Let's go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And this one is from Saj, and this is a DM that has come in on Facebook. It's the last one I do. "I try not to take life too seriously," said the headsman, putting on a costume clown before an execution. There you go. So there was our audience jokes
Of the week.
Thank you, guys.
Keep sending them in.
Yes, please do.
We've got quite a few. We've got some proper spicy ones as well, which are fantastic. Shout out to the likes of Oscar. We've seen some jokes coming from you and some other people too, and we will get through to them. Even my mum has sent in a joke. So I've got a few jokes from her which will come in. But I think it's time for us to move on to another part of the show, Sean. I believe you have something to bring to the table today.
I do.
What do you have to bring to the table?
How are we going to put this?
My finger is poised on the button, bro.
Bucket list things to piss people off.
Of the week.
Of the
week.
Off of the week. You know
Off of the
what I'm
week.
saying?
All right, cool. All right, but what would you go for it?
It's 1 to 9.
Or 9 to 1.
9 to. I should go 9. We'll go 9 to 1. We'll go 9 to 1. Right.
All right. So do you want to do another? Sorry, Alex, I'm out to this about for the social. Just do like not of the week bit, but whatever you're gonna call it.
Actually, it's not even one of them ones to piss people off. It's just
To fuck with people.
It's to a degree bucket list to fuck with people. It doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
Bucket list of things to do to mess with people before you die. Things to do to mess with people before you. 9 things to do with people. 9 things to do to mess with people before you die.
9 things to do to mess with people before you die.
Go.
Number 1, make vanilla pudding. Put in. We started from number 9. Number 9, buy a parrot. Teach the parrot to say, "Help! I've been turned into a parrot." Number 8, change name to Simon. Speak in third person.
That is.
Number 7, become a doctor. Change last name to Acula. So this is good. Number 6, run into a store, Ask what year it is. When someone answers, yell, "It works!" and run out cheering. Number 5, major in philosophy. Ask people why they would like fries with that.
Ooh.
Stop. Number 4, get into a crowded elevator, turn round and say, "I bet you're all wondering why I gathered you here today." Number 3, wear a shirt that says "Life" and hand out lemons on a street corner.
Hey.
Number 2, and probably one of my favourites, hire 2 private investigators, get them to follow each other. Absolute fuckeries.
And a third one to film it as well.
And a third one to film it.
Yeah.
And number 1, make vanilla pudding, put it in a mayo jar, consume in public.
Ooh. That's sick. So what are we doing first?
I want to do the run into the store. Can we do that one?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, heavy, man. So those were our things to do before you... bucket list of things to do to fuck with people before you die.
Of
The week.
Of the week. I love it, man. Time for some news stories, though. We do like to look at some news story stuff. And Sean, there's been a lot of talk about AI. There's been a lot of talk about tech and stuff like that. And I don't get me wrong, I love AI. I love the idea of ChatGPT. I love the fact you can ask it to help you with your resume and or whatever, or CV or whatever, write your letters and stuff. That's cool. But I miss good old Black Mirror style kind of, news stories or ideas, where you have a scientist that really wants to do something that you didn't think could be feasible in our lifetime. So this is our prison of the future.
of the week.
There's a guy called Hashim Al-Ghali. Sounds like Hashim Al-Ghali, I got it right. He's a Berlin-based filmmaker and science communicator. So he makes film and does science. And he has proposed an idea called Cognify, a concept that aims to replace traditional prisons with a rehabilitation facility that uses artificial memories to reform criminals. So basically, you would use brain implants and VR-like technology to insert fake memories of crimes. I don't think it says crimes here, but I think fake memories of time maybe into offenders' minds, showing them their actions. Oh no, shit! Oh wow! It inserts fake memories of crimes into offenders' minds, showing them their own actions from the victim's perspective. The system also triggers emotions like guilt and regret, which some criminals might not naturally feel.
Wow.
He believes that this could lower repeat offences, cut costs, and reduce time in prison, allowing offenders to be released in days instead of years. Now, right? It's good.
So this kind of works on remorse, right?
Yeah, remorse. Because what you don't want is a criminal that loves that shit. The criminal's like, stab me.
Got any more of those memories?
Yeah, give me some more of those. Like, no, Neo in the Matrix. More. Yeah, man. So, so it's kind of Black Mirror, isn't it? Like Black Mirror. I don't think there was someone in jail in an episode of Black Mirror, and I think I
haven't seen it. I've seen like a few eps, but I haven't seen the one that you're specifically speaking about.
Won't spoil it, but there's a guy serving time, so he just feels like a lot of time has passed, but a little has passed.
Gotcha.
I don't know how I feel about this, Sean, because like isn't part of, and I'm actually going to be a little bit serious about that. Isn't part of going to prison, coming out and being a bit old, like you lose your youth. Like, it's not just memories. If I went into jail now for 50 years, that's it. I'm not coming out. Or if I'm going for 20 years, I'm not going to be able to come out and run a 5K. Or like, I'll be old. I'll be an old man.
You might be able to. Why would you not? Why would you?
I mean, I can't really run a 5K now. So that's a bit serious.
If you're talking about me, then yeah, Halo 5K is getting run at any time.
Yeah, man. Isn't part of it losing your actual life? Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense, your actual.
I mean, it obviously is. Hopefully, most of the time is linked to how severe the crime is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, all right. Say you got 10 years for armed burglary, right? So they make, but you'd get that. I don't know if that's what you get now. Armed burglary, you get 10 years here, right? What if they said we'll offer you 20 years, but it'll feel like 20 years, but we'll do the Cognify thing instead. So you'd come back as you are right now, because you'd only serve a little amount of time. They put some memories in. Would you take more time if they inserted more of a sentence into your head digitally than doing the time in real life?
So it would feel like 20 years.
Feel like 20 years, but you pop back right now. Boop, be back. Or do 10 real years.
Oh, probably the first one.
You do the 20 years.
I think so, yeah, because it's an extra 10 years of false of it's not actually real, and then you get to live your life, wouldn't it? You get to run a 5K when you get out. You're like, okay, that's
okay. And they aim to reform criminals quickly by manipulating memories. Additionally, the technology is still mostly theoretical, and its real life implications could be harmful. Yes, I think that's quite obvious. Right now, how about we flip it on its head?
Okay.
I can take you to Disney for a tenner. Just put the memories in. How good's that? We want to no queuing. No queuing, bruv. Just you get to see Mickey, Goofy.
All you do is just get a wave of nostalgia afterwards, being like,
oh my gosh, that was
great.
amazing. Yeah. It's a weird one. Like whenever I see people like that theoretically have stuff like this, I'm like, would you really want it? Like you can hit. Like, would you really want this technology to be around? Because I think as humans, as we are learning slowly, we are just finding ways to abuse every single type of stuff. I mean, could they put computer game memories in my head? I would love to experience some COD in that, like, but feel it though.
Well, if I can just mention, do you remember Neuralink?
Yeah.
So I don't know if have you seen the guy's name is Nolan's something, and he's the first person to have the transplant. He's the first person to have the Neuralink installed in his brain. So
it's the microchip that eventually we're hoping will be the ultimate symbiosis of man and machine, right? That's what they're aiming for.
Cyborg symbiosis at its finest.
But he's the first guy to have it done.
He's a quadriplegic, so he only has he's only able to move his from the neck upwards. Quite an articulate guy, very, very interesting. And it's obviously the first iteration of a Neuralink, but already he's been able to play video games. There's things where he will map. So let's say he can't actually move his arm, but he can still send the signals to say for your arm to move, and then they can map that. So if even though he won't move in his brain, he will go like this, and then the mouse will move to the right. So they will assign it that way. Like there would be when you do that, it will go left. But then what he said was it started to move before he even thought about, because he was saying if you go to pick up something, it's like preemptive, right? It's got to send the signal back, and so it started doing that way. He was like, I think, the mouse moved already. Already. So, it was very, very interesting talking about he was like, do I be the first person? Because that's cool in a way, right? To be he might, if a movie was made in the future, it would be in it, right? Like the first person. But also it's maybe I should have waited until a few more iterations down the line in it and stuff like that.
It's like if you could only buy one iPhone and you got the first one, you're pissed, innit? You're pissed. Everyone's airdropping shit. Everyone's got more than 100 photos in their phone. Yeah, I get that, man. But no, he's a pioneer for that, and I think it's an interesting look at the mind, because you're right. I've always remembered this fact: when you pick up something hot and drop it, you drop it before your mind actually has the full signal of the hurt. It's a reflex reaction. So and also there's also another theory, or maybe it's been proven true, that everything we experience actually doesn't happen instantly for us. There's a bit more processing time, but we can't even comprehend that because it's always there and we're used to it. So he might be experiencing we might think to me, like you said, think to move your arm before you move it. He's experiencing that because digitally that mouse thing moves immediately. And also, we've seen people remap their brains, people with spinal damage before. Someone has severed bits of their spine, and their brain remaps how to walk again. And it looks like when kids are learning to walk, they're mapping it for the first time. So I can't even imagine the things that I could map. This could be very dangerous, Sean, because I could be sitting there watching the football, and as my belly starts rumbling, a pizza delivery man knocks on the door with 3 extra large
Does that not
stuffed crust pizzas. Yeah, man.
Don't you want that?
My mind will go to some wild food places, bruv. Chicken nuggets in my dream. All the chicken nuggets. Oh, man.
So what ended up happening? Sorry, I digress. What ended up happening to him was that it wasn't even like he had to move. It started to read his thoughts, and that already is pretty impressive. Very early on the journey, but I've followed the Neuralink kind of journey.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to hear from the first person who's had it installed. So it's on YouTube. It's obviously on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's done plenty of pods, but
Heavy.
worth
That's good, man.
just in the same ballpark. I thought I'd mention it.
You like to drive, right? You've spoken about driving sim stuff. Would you, if say we could get you a Neuralink Mark III, it's in, all good. Would you ever want to play games like that? And I was going to say, now actually I'll ask you the first question. Would you want a game with just your mind?
Can I? I'm just going to say something before that. Because the guy he was a gamer before his injury,
Yeah.
And he said, he's had to watch all of his friends for the past 8 years play all these games, and he's like, so it's like the first time that he has, and he was like, yeah, but moving forward, we're going to have our own league.
Yeah, man.
Because I
ain't playing with you. Yeah.
Because I have an Autobot which I cannot miss.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan was
all right, right. Is it? You sure, bruv? Is he talking that smack? What's his fucking tag? What's his gamer tag? Let's go. Let's bust him
Joe
up,
Rogan
man.
was like, you should find like the best player in the world and just go and fuck with him, innit?
Yeah.
It's like sniping from the other side of the map, like
That's
it's not
mad.
stuff like that.
Yeah, man. That's mad, man. You're gonna have like Neuralink only things. Would you ever want to replace day-to-day stuff like driving, like normal driving, with your mind? Because technically, you would be able to, from what we've said, you could harness a greater symbiosis with a machine. And everyone always thinks like complex things like computers, but things like a car. We know that there is a different level to driving that a small number of humans can compete in F1. That's not you couldn't. Me driving a normal car, I couldn't even get an F1 car going. Yeah. So would you ever want to like,
It would be like it comes to a point where when I'm driving, whether that be sim racing or whatever, is like I've run out of talent at a certain point.
Yeah.
And it would be quite nice to feel what it would be like to not run out of talent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So from that perspective, it would be kind of mad. But I think I would use it for. I don't think I would like kind of use it for that. It wouldn't be like the first. It would be like being able to learn languages instantaneously. Be able to. It's.
My bar is so low. I was literally just thinking, if I leave the bathroom light on and I can see it creeping under the bedroom door, I can turn it off with my mind. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that'd be great if I could be like, lights off.
Yeah, anything that an app could do, you can do with your brain, I suppose. So that would be fairly easy. But that's like tip of the iceberg. You should be able to come up with like super complex, like really like do super complex equations, and also you like one of the things which is really interesting is, let's say I have a complex idea and I want you to understand that idea. What you can do is you can kind of like package it in a certain way, and I can send it over to you, and you want to unpack it in a way in which it makes perfect sense to you.
That's where business breaks down, isn't it? Because two people are trying to communicate, and like people don't get each other's visions. Yeah, that's fascinating.
It's just. from the initial things will be attempting to give people who have the loss of limbs, etc., being able to create new neural pathways to be able to walk again, move their arms, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, even with this chap, with the later iterations, hopefully, yeah.
How long do you think till we get a RoboCop?
I don't even think it's that long, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it's mad hearing him speak, because he talks about every day they're discovering new stuff, because they are literally, because Joe Rogan was asking him simple questions. Have you done this? He's like, no, we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's every day is groundbreaking. Every day is something new. They're doing, some basic stuff. But for him, you can imagine, it's like super exciting.
It is, man. It is. I just keep thinking like, what would I want to do? And I think my bar is quite low, as I'm sure you just heard. Like, I need to think about more stuff. But isn't one massive challenge also, right, if we can have to put some real blocks on it? Because like how his mouse moved, and before he thought about it, you don't want your subconscious to start taking over. Because it's like, imagine, like,
that's your subconscious. I'm fine with my subconscious. No worries.
It's like if you knew I could read minds, innit? The first thing you think is, I definitely shouldn't think that. Thinking it.
And everyone will be walking around going,
oh no. Do you know what I mean? Oh my god. Yeah.
Literally be reading people's minds, and
Yeah, man.
thought patterns and all that kind of stuff.
So then if the Neuralink did work, then this stuff could happen, innit? You could fire some memories in if they worked out to do it, or experiences, or maybe make someone feel sad or scared. That's weird, innit? Like
Induce
you
emotion.
could induce emotion.
You could induce emotions, because if you could find out what things are firing at that certain point, then you can just imitate that.
Yeah.
So you just be like, yeah, and then
Oh, yeah. Or cheer up 1 second. How's that, mate? Hey, back in the room. Yeah. Oh, man.
Mood regulation.
Make me 2
Wow.
pints drunk and I haven't drunk a pint. Oh, that's nice. And then you can just dial it back to 1. Oh, I've got to drive now. That's sweet.
And you just turn it all up to lick.
Yeah, lick. Oh, I'll just have 1, but your Neuralink says, nah, 1 beer, nah. Let's throw 2 in the mix and blend. That's wild, you know. I've not really thought of that, man. Yeah.
But I mean, what's crazy is that, like, it's, if you hear him explain like certain bits and bobs, you can already see how it is working, but it's still super early days. And they've had like issues where the some of the fibers, they're like less thinner than a human hair that connect to the brain. Some of them are detached, so they're trying to figure out why they've detached, and it gives you less feedback because of that and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
So
That's not good. Can we in true Marcus style, I've got something I'd like to show before we end the show, if that's all right. I've got another article. Do you mind firing over the mouse over here,
I
please?
can fire over. Which mouse? This one?
The other one, yes.
Oh,
Multi-mouse game.
Overall.
So something else I want to show you.
Okay.
Totally in the other direction. But I just thought I should make man like Sean aware of it.
What's am I unaware of?
There's a bakery that's getting in a bit of trouble, mate. They're in Amsterdam. I don't know if that's enough to so that you know about it, but a lot's going down, bro. And I just wanted to share it with you. Do you know what I mean? It's a Waffle House in many senses of the word. Its name is Rio. I'll make the screen big so you can see it. Its name is Rio. It's a Waffle House in Amsterdam, and they serve phallic, cream-filled,
phallus-shaped. It's like a choux pastry.
Yes.
Like I love chocolate eclairs. This takes a different.
It takes a different look at it. It's like a chocolate eclair, but it is very phallic shaped, and they fill it full of cream, which you can choose. It's really, really popular in Brazil. Sorry, I thought I said Amsterdam. It's not in Brazil. It's very, very popular.
Oh, Amsterdam, Brazil, yeah.
Yeah. Amsterdam, Brazil.
My favourite spot.
Yeah, it's a joint, man. People love it. It's very viral, but apparently, they've got they've got some oysters in there. They've got female genitalia as well. And they're serving them up. Do you want to see? Sean's going to quickly let us. Yeah, look, okay, that's on the nose. Sean, there's a shot of someone biting into one. Can you just describe what they're doing what you see right now? It's covered in. It
is covered in chocolate. It's got a stick,
and that cream is all over the place. Yeah. So anyway,
it is. Yeah.
So the Waffle House.
They're not allowed to sell it to minors. Okay.
Yeah, they're getting in trouble in Brazil. The chocolate covered treats come with a little bit of cream inside,
which will allow you to use your imagination as to what that potentially could look like.
I mean, they know what they're doing, innit? They know what they're doing. Do you know what I was quite pleasantly surprised at though? Quite a few fellas there, like as well. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I thought it was just gonna be like bunch of giggly like people like that, but guys are like, no, give me an extra large one. You know, there's a guy that's always like over masculine. I'll have it large. This guy, I'll do 2 at the same time. Yeah. But yeah, it's in Rio.
It's a fun little thing. Come on, I don't understand why people are getting so. Why are people getting?
I don't know. But it's called a putaria.
Putaria.
It sounds naughty and nice at the same time. But
you know what puta means, so I don't know exactly what.
Yeah. You know, but the Justice Ministry's Consumer Protection Agency is ordering the shop and similar businesses across the country to suspend sales obviously to minors, and all products reproducing or suggesting the shape of human genitalia. But I feel like if you start doing that, if you start stopping,
they're stopping them from selling them in a shape of
genitalia, right? Yeah. I'm just saying, if you again, all right, maybe to young kids, if it's suggestive in there, cool, whatever. But to adults, if you stop selling them, this is the start of a slippery slope. Yeah. Because back in my day, meat and 2 veg, meant a very different thing. But like, ain't a lot of fruit and vegetable quite phallic in its look?
It is.
Carrot, cucumber, aubergine.
This is going too far. I think like it's a fad. People will go and enjoy it. All they're doing is selling pastries. Okay, I understand if you don't want to. If they're like, oh, okay, it's an adult theme. Therefore, we think that people should be 16 and above, or whatever whatever age they deem fit. Allow people to have a bit of fun, man. Bite into a vulva shaped shoe pastry and let your mate film it, and it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
I think it's a laugh. To be fair, it's one of those things, if I think about it too much, it's quite, I wouldn't, if I think about it too much, I see someone biting into a pastry like that, like if it's the male one, I'm like,
oh yeah, I mean there is that. Yeah. There's a lot of it turns into a place where there's a lot of squeamish guys just go,
so yeah, that was it, Sean, the quick one. Before we bounce out of here, can I just ask how you've been killing time this week, please, Sean?
I ended up going to Silverstone. I ended up going to Silverstone last weekend, which was amazing. It was the first. You've been to the Formula One before, right?
I've been Silverstone as well, yeah.
And I'm a big Formula One fan, big just racing fan in general. It was great. Friday to Sunday. Got a Rude Boy camper van, which I've never camped like that before. I had like the works, like full like double bed that pulled out with like running water. You got like full underlighting. It was great, man. And like you could sleep 2 people up the top as well, because it's got like you could have stood up in it. You can raise the roof.
Raise the roof. Was it a VW one? Was it a Ford one?
It was a VW. It was a choice between the new Transporter or the old school Scooby van. Yeah, and I was like, I wanted to go old school Scooby van, but I was also like, I don't want it to break down on the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Creature comfort.
Exactly. And then the newer one has probably a bigger water tank, air conditioning, I guess, if you need, when you're driving.
It had a grill, hob.
What?
Like, grill, hob. Literally, it's wooden flooring. It was sick.
So if you're going to camp, you'd do it like that. If you could do
100%. And it had like, and out the front, it's got like a full awning. So you have like, you just have like a nice space, and it's really it's even in just camping, nothing to do with Silverstone, that was super fun by itself.
Yeah.
But going to see Sir Lewis.
Jeez.
Going to see him win. Yeah, he was mad. The most obviously it's been 3 years since he's won previously. And then like the rain made it even more exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, because people, drivers didn't know whether it was going to rain. People going out with different strategies, different tyres. But the first time at the UK Grand Prix where the top 3 were all British drivers.
Come on.
And quali. So that was fun. Max obviously came to spoil the party in the main race. I'm a bit sorry for Lando. Lando's my guy now.
Yeah, is he a guy now?
Yeah, man. I got a Lando hat, and I'm like, because this is what I realised, right? Lewis is moving next year to Ferrari.
Yeah.
I am not a massive George Russell fan.
Okay. All right. So it's taking it.
Don't know why, George. Sorry, but not that you care. Yeah. But not the biggest George Russell fan. So I was like, McLaren, British, Lando. Yeah. Lando's cool. I love. He's got a good bounce. I like him.
Fair enough.
Sim racing.
And Lewis has now cemented his space at the top of the tree. The most. Is he the greatest? He's the GOAT, isn't it now?
I mean, people will say like, people will be like, oh, you call him the GOAT when he's lost like the head to his teammate this year. Everyone's gonna have a opinion. No, he hadn't won a race for the longest time, and when Max wins now, apart from like last couple of months, when Max wins, he's just like, good work, guys. Good work. It was a good race. Anyway, like my man's doing his grocery shopping list. He's bored. Like when someone wins, you want to see them, like you want to see the outpouring of emotion. You get too good, it's boring. You're like, won again. Someone give me a bit of a challenge. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, it's just watching any sport's not fun when there's one person who's just ultra dominant, unless you're their biggest fan, and then you're like, I want them to win everything.
That's it. Do their job nice. But now you've bought the hat. Yeah, you've got to support now.
Yeah, I mean, I still support. I will still support Lewis when he goes to Ferrari because I've always been a Lewis fan. But yeah, Lando,
Lando's the Mando. But you'd recommend the camping vibe, yeah. With those, because of VW camper vans, like, because we've done stuff with camper vans at How to Kill An Hour on the YouTube stuff before, so maybe stuff in future. How many people you recommend for one of those vans? Like 2?
I would say for two, it is super comfortable. But let's say you went, okay, so if you went as a couple, if you went as like 2 friends, one person can sleep on the bed on the bottom, one person can sleep on the bed, calm. You could do 4 peeps. It'll be a bit tight, but you have the awning outside, so you can have chairs out there. You could do 4. You could sleep 4.
Nice.
Yeah, and then on the way there, there's a front seat. There's 2 front seats. The passenger seat spins round.
Hey,
So
I love that.
It becomes part of the living area.
Yeah.
So I would say 3, max 4. 4 probably will be a bit tight.
Okay, cool. And then, but you really liked it. The rental was all good in that as well, and like you enjoyed it. It was all fun.
It was great. It was great. It was like, I didn't realize this as well, and you obviously knew this, but I didn't realize that it was a full on like festival vibes, man.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it to you before you went. I was like, Sean, it's big, man. It's like a weekend out.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Kings of Leon, Stormzy, Gets, Rudimental. Pete
They
Tong,
always play there, yeah.
I was,
It's
man.
wicked, yeah. And it's
And
like you can go around and there's stuff to do before and after that you can enjoy, yeah.
Got to put it out there, right?
Go on.
After the quali, it was the England-Switzerland game.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, we're going to put the game on. They were supposed to be like driver interviews and blah, blah, blah. So everyone's there watching the game. They had like problems with the, like getting it, like the commentary going through and that. And then it goes to extra time. And then the woman gets up on stage. She's like, right, George Russell's coming. Everyone's like, boo, boo. Just like, and she's there going, oh my God, like this is the first time I've ever been booed on the stage. I was like, read the room, boo, yeah. And so they did that. Then George came out. He talked for like a few minutes and he was like, yo, the game's still going. Like, what? I want to watch it as well.
Yeah.
So he came and sat, went to penalties. So right, guys, we've got Lewis Hamilton. I was like, are you serious?
Wow.
Bruv, the whole crowd is like 50,000 people like booing, yeah. And then Lewis comes out and he starts talking for a hot minute, and then he's like, what? The penalties are going on now. What are we doing? We can do this after. I was like, everyone was like, yeah,
heavy.
Like, come on, man.
People's champ.
It's the Euros, like quarters. Like, read the room. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I guess, Sean, before we leave today, I guess we got to talk about.
We should. I'm not gonna lie. After it finished, I went, yeah. It's kind of what I expected. To be honest, let's be honest. Spain were the best team in the tournament throughout the whole tournament. They deserve to win the tournament, but when it comes to one game at the end of the tournament, you just got to find a way to win, and we didn't do that. We didn't do that, unfortunately.
We scored a smoker of a goal, though, innit?
We did. A little deflection, but we take it.
Was there a tiny little deflection? Yeah, it was.
It
Looked nice, though, man.
It was a really good move, but we didn't do. I don't think it was like one of them ones where like you'd be like, oh, we didn't deserve to.
Yeah,
they crushed us in the second half.
And 2-1 ain't a bad way to go.
It's not, because we could have got, like, a lot of people were going, oh, we'll either nick it or we'll get whacked. Like, it'll be like 5-1 or something. So wasn't embarrassing to the nation, but continue the hurt.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and congratulations to Spain.
Yeah, congratulations, Spain.
Well, they had a good Sunday.
Yeah,
they won Wimbledon as well. No?
Oh, jeez, man. Why does that? I swear, Italy won the relays. You know, when Italy beat us, they like smashed up the Olympics as well.
We just needed something else to win at so that we can win the Euros. We didn't have it.
Yeah, man. I want to know what's in the water. So so now Italy has spanked us. Spain has spanked us. But I can go back to eating paella now, because I was on a paella ban. I was calling it I was calling it chorito. Yeah, I was smashing over glasses of Rioja.
Some sangria, yeah. Some bloody sangria.
I was having a Ribena, mate. A Vimto. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we can go back to eating Spanish food now. But Sean, it's been great being back in the studio, bro. And as usual, time flies. Please make sure you follow us on all social medias at How to Kill an Hour. If you come over from the social medias, this is the first time you're checking the podcast, welcome. Make sure you send us our jokes over DMs. I'm at Marcus Bronzy on all socials. It's at How to Kill an Hour on all socials. Where can we find you, Sean?
Oh man, you gotta stop asking me this. Nowhere.
Nowhere. Driving a van.
Driving a transporter.
A transporter. Not a bad thing.
But I would maybe last week, so you have to catch me last week.
Oh yeah, catch you last week.
That could work.
So build a time machine. What year is it?
Yeah!